All the glamour of MotoGP, but who's going to get the checkered flag at our particular poker game? So far, the favourite is the Frenchman Arsène Lemaire, out in front, and at the bottom now, Mauro, for the way he played that hand. As for Andre Brenda, well, he must be touching wood and have a rabbit's foot in his pocket to get that jammy to hit one of those 2 6s. Let's see how Swinnen responds to having the stuffing kicked out of him. Ace-Jack's a raising hand.
Always.
$1,200.
Perfectly respectable raise. And Virag, with only a King 7, albeit suited, does the right thing. What will Martin Moreno from Argentina do? Well, he gets out the way as well. Now it's the laughing Frenchman. It's the sort of hand he'd normally raise with. But there's already been a raise. So unless he thinks Jorn Swinnen is on tilt after that big loss to Andre Brenda, he'd be well advised to do exactly what he did do, shove them in the middle, back to Manuela, our dealer. Now, Swinnen's nemesis, Andre Brenda. He's got King 8.
1,200 call.
And he makes a call with King 8 off suit. Well, he must think he's got Swinnen on the run.
Forward heads up.
2 players. Now, if this one goes wrong for Swinnen, he may be lying down in front of the motorbikes. Well, they've both hit a piece of it. But the bigger piece belongs to the Switzman, Jorn Swinner.
2,000.
Andre Brenda has played into his hands, quite literally, putting 2,000 in there. He's got to think, is it now or is it never?
I'm all in.
All in.
Answer, now.
5,175 all in.
Andres Brenda now being offered 3-1 to call.
And 75.
So he's,
How much do I have to pay?
3,175.
he's priced in here.
3,175. $1,175.
Jorn Swinnen is going to like these when the cards go over. You'll see he's a 4-1 favourite, but he does have to dodge Kings and 8s and any straightening cards that may suddenly appear.
Only 8.
That has made it a lot easier.
Only 8.
2 8s in the deck. Well, he hit one of the 6s. Can he hit one of the 8s? He cannot. Jorn Swinnen can breathe again. And talking of safety, our players also got a close-up look at the safety car at Jerez. Lemaire up in front on 21,000. Mauro Fornuto and Virag Tatrai beginning to be in a spot more danger than they would be,
400.
even on a quad bike. More danger even than those people who were jogging down the track at Jerez while the safety car was going round. I must admit they have balls of steel. Pocket 10s, well, we saw those get Jorn Swinnen into trouble before in the biggest pot of the night.
Raised.
Lemaire in his Borsalino hat, maybe it's a Homburg. He decides that a little bit of paint is enough to be raising with. Queen Jack in clubs.
Fold.
Can't fault his aggression. He describes himself as an aggressive and passionate player. Well, I would say that aggression is good, but passion, sir, can get you into trouble. Let's see what happens in this hand. It's pretty much 50-50. But, of course, Swinnen will probably raise with it.
Call.
No, he's just calling this time. He had his fingers burnt with the tens before.
Heads up.
Slightly white flag. He's only actually behind to 4 hands pre-flop. But there's an awful lot of danger that can come down in the middle. Let's see what Manuela puts out there. Well, there is one danger card. Could be worse.
Check.
But not much. And of course Lemaire with top pair and a confident smirk across the table. Looks a bit like a musketeer. And he says, on guard, sir. And it's a re-raise from Swinnen. Well, he is playing these tens in a very hinky fashion.
6,000.
Call.
Call.
An immediate call from Arsène Lemaire.
Of course I call him.
We have a 6 on the turn. It's another club. So that gives Lemaire a flush draw as well. He's going to be harder to get off this pot than an escargot is to get out of its shell. It's going to need heavy artillery from Jorn Swinnen. Nice to see Martin Moreno just looking at the players,
All in.
gauging some physical reactions.
Please, can you stand up? Thank you.
Jorn Swinnen.
Sit down, stand up.
I said it would need heavy artillery. Well, it doesn't come any heavier than that. He is all in.
Stand up.
5,750. 5,750.
Big, big decision for the Frenchman, who is not laughing anymore. Jorn Swinnen just has to stand there and try not to breathe. He's praying for a fold here. He can see the danger of the clubs. He knows the queen's there. His initial raise was called. 6,200 into a pot of 21,000. Is it going to be enough?
5,000.
750.
Only the winner goes through to the grand final. Nothing for second. No guts, no glory. What will Arsène Lemaire do? With these odds, he should be calling. Even if he's up against aces, he does have the queen and the clubs to help him out. But the more he thinks, the more he fears. This is a good performance by Jorn Swinnen. Looking very composed.
Fold.
And he has made the Frenchman lay down the better hand. That is remarkable poker. Arsène just couldn't find it within himself to make that call. Poker is all about winning when you don't have the best hand, and that was a lovely, lovely bluff there from Jorn Swinnen. Fearless play. And we have fish hooks in front of Andre Brenda. He is a fisherman.
Call.
A call with the medium ace from the recently stung Arsène Lemaire. Brenda has to raise here. You can't slow play jacks.
Raise, 2,000. Fold.
Too much for Mauro Fornuto. Jorn Swinnen will welcome the chance just to get his breath back. There's no way he's getting involved with 4-3 offsuit. Now, Virag. Ace rag. Big raise in front of you. Will she be seduced by the fact that it's suited? Or will she recognise it for the trash it is? She does. She was way behind, and that's a very decent fold. Martin Moreno. Well, I said, King Jack, you either fold or raise. He's called. Now, that's getting himself into big trouble. What can he possibly think he's ahead of when there's been a big raise in front of him? Of course, Lemaire still to act. 1,400. He's got a fancy. One of them's got an ace. How much does he like his 9? How much does he like his diamonds? How hurt is he by that big, big loss to Jorn Swinnen?
Forward heads up.
He decides to be cautious. And of course, Marino very much drawing to the king. A jack would be a disaster for him. He'd think he was in front. He does have a backdoor flush draw. Not so much backdoor as cat flap.
5,000.
5,000.
And Andre Brenda has surely done him a favour there. Martin Moreno is thinking about something here. He hasn't come all the way from Argentina, surely, to make a bluff with a king-jack. So many hands he's losing to. He says all in!
Please, can you stand up? Thank you.
And Andre Brenda, who's been pushed around himself, is surely going to fancy his jacks here.
12,275. 12,275. 7,275 more.
An immediate call, and that laughing grin there from Martin Moreno will let Andre Brenda know that he's done the right thing.
100.
That's what we call gallows humour.
75. Call. Showdown.
And he's laughing because he's going to be embarrassed. He's trying to make the best of it. He'll hate to see these jacks because he'll know he doesn't have 2 live cards, just the 1. It'll have to be a kangaroo, or Signor Moreno will be hopping back across the South Atlantic.
King or Wonder.
That's no good. Has to be a king.
3 outs.
He is drawing thin as a crisp. Manuela deals his fate. It is not a king, and that is adios to Manuel Moreno. He obviously had a rush of blood, decided enough's enough, I'm going to start pushing people around, but he just picked the wrong moment, and Andre Brenda gets a massive injection of chips. The ship engineer from Norway steaming ahead now.
Yes, that's it.
And we are down to 5.
Well, it was a long day and it was a very interesting game. I regret being so passive. That was a big mistake that I made.
We began with 6, we've lost 1. Join us next time on Magic Moments of Poker. I'm Grub Smith.